And welcome along to the old farm countryside for our penultimate start from scratch of this series. We're headed down to the shop here today because we need to get our fields sprayed. So unfortunately one of our fields has gone a little bit too far already. Now how much have we got space on there? I think the cost of hiring the coon setup here, we're going to go with the mega. Yeah, unfortunately one of our crops has already gone too far. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using the same trick as we've used before to do both. So we're going to lease this hardy mega sprayer for 1,700. So lease that. We should have enough time to work through with this. There it is. Yeah, we're going to hook this up to our fence. We're going to head up to our fields, and we're going to use, as I said, we're going to use a trick that we've used before on here. We're going to fertilize, then use the herbicide, then fertilize again, so that we are able to get all of the stages of fertilization done with only one stage of crop left. Because we've left it too long, we spent so much time doing all of that hay that we ended up with our crops going beyond where we wanted them to. So let's get this back to the farm. We'll get this loaded up and then we'll get spraying. So you can see on the left here that our soybeans have already, the main part of our soybean field has already gone. And is we're not going to be able to get rid of the weeds or fertilize that, but the edge is still very much able to do, whereas on the far side our canola is still very much available. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop out here, we're going to open this up. It doesn't seem to have an animation for that, and we're going to refill, and we want to do fertilizer first. So it's very important we do fertilizer followed by herbicide followed by fertilizer. Otherwise, this trick will not work. So there we go, 2,000 litres, 2,900. I'm hoping we're still going to have enough money left at the end of this for us to be able to hire a harvester to take these, to do these two fields. Because at the moment, I don't know where that's going to leave us. We should be able to. I mean, the cheapest harvester in the game is really cheap that we have. So it should be doable. We'll start with the bottom end of this field. Get this sprayed. The nice thing about this sprayer compared to the slightly more expensive setup of the coon is that it is really wide. I mean, the reach on this is massive. So we should be able to get most of this field in just in the first run round. Well then, as I said, move on to the canola and get that sprayed. It's slightly harder to see where you're spraying with this once it's grown to a certain level, which is always one of those annoying things in at this stage. But we are getting through this. I think it's going to be a fairly quick video maybe today. Depends on how quickly we get this first bit done. We'll see how we do here. Although we do have a lot of stuff to spray. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So, coming back round to the farmyard now. We are spraying an awful lot of stuff, which I don't think is going to have any effect. We'll have a check in a moment, because if this does have an effect on the crop that's gone yellow, that wouldn't be so bad. That would actually that'd be pretty good. That would be very good. But we need to get sort of this little strip down the side here. There's a section here. Up to where the tree is, and we're just going to pull up to here and then check that we've sprayed about as much as we can. So about here, I think. So we'll stop this here. We'll see if we have had any effect on the rest of the field. We should be able to tell because we'd have a large line here. Yeah, no, ready to harvest. This is not going to be in any position. So fertilized yet. You can see it's gone around the edge here. We still forgot to lime a big section of this field. So there's so many things we could have done better on this series. But the weeds are going to be our next thing. But we cannot do anything about anything where it's already done. So we've got 77% of our fertilizer left. We're going to go and do the headlands on this field now, and hopefully this one will respond better, because as you can see it's canola and it is yet to be fertilized at all. We're not going to get good yields off this. I think the chance of us being able to afford the cow yard before we finish on here, with only one episode to go, is it's not great. I think our strategy on here had a lot of holes in it while we were when we were doing it. I think we kept that combine too long without using it. I think we had lots of various bits and pieces that just didn't quite work. But we did learn from them. We did improve our Seasons from Scratch series because of them. And we will improve the next Seasons from Scratch series because of the stuff we have learned on this map. I am intrigued to see how much we end up with on here and whether it is worth the work put in. Seeing if we have made any return again on the 500,000. We've got pounds up, which we shouldn't have. So let's switch those quickly to euros. And see if our 500 euro investment, if we come back with something from that that will allow us to say we made money on here. I don't think we have, to be honest. I think we would end this series in debt, simply because we've got a massive loan as well. We did keep taking loans on this. We do own a lot of land though. These are 33, 35 and 34 is not a cheap area of land to own. And we've got a lot of bales that we own as well. So what I think we're going to end up doing is maybe just estimating how much money we have on here. Because at the moment we are we're in no position actually to sell the bales that we have in our bale shed. And there is a fair amount of those, and we do actually have a good pile of silage bales as well. So I think we'll give an estimate for roughly how much we've done on here next episode, because we're going to be doing this harvest. We want to make sure that we are in a position where we can get the harvest done first, and then go from there. I do like what we've done on here. I think it works as a nice, it's a good farmyard we've built. It's an interesting pair of fields that we've built. I think adding the cows in here would have been really cool, and we could have done some fenced off areas and things like that had this gone on long term. But at the moment, I think we're in a good place, really, to end the series next time with this harvest. Providing we can get rid of all the weeds in this canola. This canola is going to be worth a lot of money compared to our soybeans, if we manage to free it of its weeds. Now we're down to 56%. So I think we're going to be in a position where we're going to want to not completely refill our fertilizer tank, and I'm half tempted to do it when we finish this field, or when we finish this headland, and get it done then, because it'll cost us a lot less to refill it, and it should do us the rest of this field if we refill it at that point. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll bring this up to here. As I said, impossible to tell exactly where you've been when it's this far cut. There we go. So we'll refill this with fertilizer. There we are. Well, actually, the maintenance on our tractor needs doing, but I'm loath to do it at the moment because of the position we're in. Right. And the fact that we have a limited amount. How much money have we borrowed? So we've borrowed 535,000. We borrowed more money on this series than we did on our Seasons from Scratch series. Which is to say, that's a lot of money that we've got borrowed on here. Right, that should be roughly a good place. Let's get spraying with this. So it's a lot of guesswork. We don't have, I don't think, no, we don't have GPS on this tractor. So yeah, it is a little bit of guesswork now to get this sprayed. So let's get this sprayed. And then we'll come back and we'll go and switch out for some herbicide. Finishing off the last row now, and yeah, it is so difficult to get this right. You have to keep switching between this screen and the map in order to check exactly where you've sprayed and where you haven't, and making sure you're not missing anything. Because yeah, without the GPS and without using course play or anything like that, it does just, you are a little bit all over the place. So getting a good spray is a tough job here. But we have done it. I think we're done. Yep, we are done. So let's turn that off. We have 59% left, which is interesting because that essentially tells me that we need just over a full tank. Whoops. To do a full spray. Which is pretty good. Not bad at all. So we're going to get this back to the farm. We're going to empty this liquid fertilizer. We're not going to waste this course because we are going to be spraying fertilizer again in a minute. But first we need to get the herbicide sprayed. And this is the thing about this trick. It is such a really good trick if you find yourself so low on time that you're completely run out of any ability to get things sprayed fully before stuff grows. I mean, we have completely missed it with one set. Now I think we might have some herbicide over here, and I'm just wondering. Yeah, we got something in this shed. I think this is herbicide. It is. Now, I'm not immediately going to pick this herbicide up because I don't know how much is in this tank. But we are going to drop these off in here. So, unload those. I reckon that's gone the other side. Nope, we do just have the one. So, how much herbicide we got in here? We have 49%. Okay, so that is our top up. It is just over a tank that we need. Yeah. So we want to give this herbicide. We want, whoa, 81%. That should be enough. Between this and the other one, that should be enough. So we'll start with the the canola this time. So unfold that, and we will get this sprayed. And it is a case of today we are going heavy on the spraying. We really are. There we go. So yeah, let's attack the weeds. And the weeds, it's going to be slightly easier to see where we've already been, because there are weeds in here, you can see them, and then they just sort of die off as we go. So it's going to be a lot easier to do the weeds as a result, thankfully. I shouldn't have to refer to the other screen as much. Now, what this also does, and the reason why, if this is the first time you've seen me doing this, we have done this before on this map, where we've run out of time to get our crops, because we've had our crops growing a bit fast on here, I think. But basically, what we're doing is we're fertilizing, spraying herbicide, and the herbicide then resets the fertilizer state, which is quite useful, because then all you do is you go and put your second dose of fertilizer on there, and it means that you end up with a full set of fertilizer, which is just absolutely brilliant. It really, really works, and means that in a last stage growth like this, you're no longer going to be just limited to a single stage of fertilization. You are actually going to get a full set of fertilization. Downside is it doesn't work on fully grown crops in the same way as well, A, you can't fertilize fully grown crop, and B, you can't spray herbicide on fully grown crops. So it doesn't work for that, but it does allow you to get a last stage of crop growth, as much fertilization on it as you can, which is fantastic, which is really, really useful. So last row of the canola now, and yeah, I think we've got pretty good coverage. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got pretty good coverage. We need to move over this way a little bit for this last little bit, because oh yeah, we've missed a fairly large patch there. So I'm just gonna bring us around, and yeah, you can see them here. So we'll just bring that round and do that there. Until we see no more. Yeah, there we... Oh, no, there's still one there. Right, that looks clear. So let's get out of here and head back and get our other field done. We can get that done from this side. So, round here and out. And then we just need to come over this way. We've got 27% left, so we might actually have enough left in here to do the all the crop. Let's unfold the tool. Right, so, and we just need to go around and get this sprayed as well. There we go. And away we go. And much, much easier in the soybeans to see where we've killed them. They stand out. In the sea of yellow, they stand out a lot less than they do in this field here. So much, much easier to see where we've killed our weeds in here. You can see they're immediately just sort of disappearing, and you can see the effect that it's on the fully grown crop. It's having no effect whatsoever. So that is our trouble, is that we are with the fully grown crop, we're just not having any effect. Now what I'm going to do, in order to get all of this corner, knowing this, I'm going to come here and we're going to wheel round, and we should get enough width, yeah, to get the whole corner, because we didn't need to worry about the stuff that was in the crop at the there at all. But yeah, so this is working so far. We are almost there with this, and hopefully we're going to have as much of our crop as we can at this point in a condition to harvest it and get the most yield we can. Well, we're coming up to the start of the field. We put an entire tank of herbicide in here, and it's made it round the whole field. Interestingly, I'm slightly surprised by that. I didn't think this would be enough to make it round the whole field, but it has. Well, by around both fields, and it has, which is pretty amazing, to be honest. So we have one more job to do on here. We need to get our second dose of fertilizer on, and with that we will then have our crops in a position where they're fully ready. But yeah, we've got 97 litres left, so we don't need more than a single tank for this. So what I'm going to do at this point is reload up the herbicide here that we got here. So refill that, so that we just end up with a single container. Unload that. So we'll load up the remaining fertilizer we had from last time. Like so. And we'll use that. And again, we're going to start with the soybeans field. Well, actually, no, we'll start with the canola. We'll get that done. So we just come up to here, reload this with the rest of this. Another 1,000. Wow, another 1,000 euros. So it's an expensive thing to do this. I hope we'll easily make enough money back to cover this cost. But you can see we're not too bad. We've got a good coverage of everything. And if I lift this, when it decides to, there we go. So lift this above. One more round of spraying. And you'll, let's put that on, and you'll immediately be able to see, look, we can spray for a second time without another stage of growth. And this is purely because we put the herbicide on. So there we are. 3 stages of growth. 3 stages of herbicide and fertilization in one go on one growth of the crop. Absolutely perfect. And yeah, I'm not going to take you guys around spraying one more time. We have done it though. That has got us into a position where next time we'll be able to do the harvesting. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.